Okay, if you're looking at St. Kitts and Antigua and you're trying to pick which one you like the best, and you've narrowed it down to the real estate option, I'm going to give you some things that you need to look at so you won't buy a property and then look back later and go, damn, I wish I hadn't done that. So you need to be considering this when you're looking at the property option when getting citizenship either in St. Kitts or Antigua. Now, Antigua does have a lower option. At the time I did this, doing this video, it's 200,000. Although there's very little out there, this 200,000, most of what you see is fractional units. And I've told people before that fractional units are not a good investment. When you resell it, it's going to be harder to resell it. It's very similar to time sharing. The only difference is you do have title to the property, but it's a fractional title. And whereas time sharing, you're basically, you have an ownership of a time period and not the title itself. But I'm going to tell you, reselling is going to be similar. Okay, you want to stay away from that. Okay, so if you're looking for having full ownership, these are some steps that you need to look at. In Antigua, the minimum is 200,000. Although right now it's very little out there that you can get. We can still get something close to 200,000 when you own the whole unit. Okay, what's happening is properties in the Caribbean have gone up quite a bit, and it's more and more difficult to find that. But if you're looking to get that option, that's where you can go. Let me tell you some problems that you have with that option with Antigua. One of them is, and there are other things too, but these are, I've already gone through some of those others on other videos, but these are ones I haven't really specified that much. Antigua, if the way it works is if you buy a property, let's say it's 250,000 or 200,000, whatever you pay for it, and you're buying it directly from the developer. The way the law is set up now, when you resell the property, okay, you can resell the property to the new guy who's coming in, okay, that wants citizenship in Antigua. And the way it works is he would buy the property from you and you're selling it to him, and he qualifies for citizenship by buying that property. But the problem is he can't resell it, okay, himself for citizenship, the guy you sold it to, if you're buying the property directly from a developer, okay? If you're buying a property that has already been sold from a developer to someone else, and now you're buying the property as a resale, okay, you can buy it for citizenship for that, from that one person, but when you resell it, you can't resell it for citizenship. You can resell it, but not for citizenship, okay? So, and the reason I'm telling you this, you might say, well, what kind of market is that outside that citizenship market? It's very small, a lot smaller than if you use it for citizenship, a lot easier to resell it, okay? So you're gonna have to consider that when you do that. If you're okay with that and you want to pay only 200,000 or close to 200,000 instead of 400,000 like St. Kitts has got, because St. Kitts' minimum is 400,000, then you might want to go with Antigua, okay, if it doesn't bother you on that resale. All right, let's look at, we do have a couple of developers. We've got one now. We could probably get one for 200,000 in Antigua, but it's a resale, which means that once you buy it for citizenship, you can't resell it for citizenship, okay? Now, let's look at St. Kitts. St. Kitts is a little bit different. They have two different programs. One is where you're actually buying from a citizenship development that's been approved for citizenship, okay? The other one is where you're buying a home or a condo that qualifies for the home program. Now, and that's in the private home sales or private home, they call it private home sale, but it's also not just for a standalone house, but it's for a condo too. Now, let me go over how that works and how this is going to benefit you. Now, again, if you're buying from the citizenship development in St. Kitts, the minimum is 400,000, whether you buy a condo or a house. That's the minimum. Okay, so anything above 400,000 or above, whether it's a house or a condo, that will qualify for citizenship in St. Kitts, okay? Now, the thing about those type properties, though, to get a standalone home right now that's at the $400,000 limit, in the citizenship developments, very difficult to find that. Very difficult. In fact, there's only one development I know where you can get a standalone house pretty close to that. But there's not really anything out there. Now, with the private home option, the minimum investment for a condo is $400,000. Okay. Now, if you go with a private home, it's $800,000 US. So, and a property, and let me just give you the wording, the legal wording on this, and then I'm going to go into this a little bit more in depth. Okay. Now, the resale, a property purchased under the private home investment option shall not be resold for a period of at least 7 years. Now, remember, in Antigua, it's 5 years. In St. Kitts, it's 7 years. All right. Now, the approved private home does not qualify for purchase in a subsequent citizenship by investment unless federal cabinet is satisfied that substantial further investment was injected in the real estate unit by way of a further construction, renovation, or otherwise. They're not clear on this. It's a real, they have not put in wording on this, but I can tell you from getting private homes approved, because I got one approved, and we also got in the process of doing several other ones here, and this is a new law they just came out with. So I'm going to tell you what they're looking for. They're looking for developments that are not run down, which is for your protection. That's why you need to look at units that are in developments that that are good developments, okay? And I would advise you to get in a development that's already been developed, okay? This way you can see what it's like, and then how it's going to be kept up. Because what the government doesn't want is a development where it looks like a rat's nest, and they don't want those to be resold again. You also, another reason you want to use a developer that has already got the units built, or at least some of them, is what happens if the guy has problems? We got a development now over here that was development. They got all these condos up there. The roads aren't even finished. It's a mess. And, it's pretty rare that happens, but I did a video on that development. It's a mess. Nobody's even in the units. So you want to I would advise you to make sure that the place is finished. People at least are moving in, some of them. And you see the reputation of the developer. We like to deal with people who've been here for years, and I like to deal with people I've dealt with for years, and this way you can trust them, okay? This is what you want to be looking for. But the key with St. Kitts is the units in the developments and also the home program. You just got to get them reapproved for citizenship approval again, okay? And what the government asks for is a pretty simple process. You got to get a copy. You have to get a survey. You got to get a certified copy of the actual title, and you got to get an appraisal done. And it has to be according to the act. You can't just go out and get somebody to do this, okay? You got to get somebody that knows how to do it. Now, we've done them, or you can do them yourself, or you can get someone else to do it for you. But it's not, they've got guidelines in place where you have to do this according to the law, or they're not going to accept it, to be approved for citizenship again. But these are your biggest things you want to look for. And I'll tell you something, folks, you want to have that market that is a market that wants to buy for citizenship. If you get out of that market, it's going to change your resale dramatically. Okay, and these are some key things that you want to look at. So you're going to have to look at Antigua. Do you want to go with that option where you have limited resale? And if you have limited resale, what about the guy you're selling it to? Because if he can't resell it for citizenship, that's going to affect you trying to resell it to him, okay? St. Kitts doesn't have that, because if you get it reapproved again, it's repetitive, okay? But you do have to get it approved again. If you want to know more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. and I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.